And we are back in this rant. This is going to be part 2 of the rant. And if you think I'm talking a lot of crap about this and I'm being harsh, wait till I get to zombies, alright? Usually, people get more mad and frustrated on something when they're close to it. You know, they like the game or something like that. They get more frustrated if something bad happens during the game. And so think of it like that. And think of how much zombies means to me. I'm passionate about zombies. I was passionate about Infinite Warfare zombies, Black Ops 3 zombies, all the zombies modes from these games. And I'm passionate about this, right? But it's like a love-hate relationship, right? Because I'm passionate about zombies, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of fucking bullshit happening in Nazi zombies, right? But this is this gameplay right now. I just wanted to test out the spawn rates, right? The spawn rates in USS Texas. And that brings us to our main point as to why this game is just so bad multiplayer wise, right? The spawn rates are super bad, right? And I mean like super bad in this game, right? If you watch my last video and there was a clip in a section where I've spawned in and I was already being shot at within 2 seconds of me spawning in. That shouldn't be happening, right? That shouldn't be happening. I will accept that. I will accept being shot once I spawn in, only if I'm being spawn trapped. That's the only explanation. I wasn't being spawn trapped. I was just that was a set spawn, and it was just a generally bad spawn. And you know, it got me pissed off because, like, really, is that what you really consider a spawn, right? Then I was curious, right? I was playing USS Texas, and I was curious, like, why always when I die in the middle or towards their spawn, I always have to spawn all the way back in my spawn, right? Why am I always spawning all the way back? Like, why isn't there spawns in the middle of the map, right? I know in free for all there's actually spawns all over the map, right? I don't play free for all those, and I didn't want to try it out in free for all because I was just way too tired and lazy. And I was already getting mad with this game. So what I did was I put custom bots on, right? I think I put mixed abilities, right? So recruit veterans, horde, and stuff like that. And I put radar on constantly, so I can see. And I was looking at this for a while. I mean, a good while. What are these spawns like, right? And what I came to conclude is that these spawns, and the reason why USS Texas, and maybe why many other maps have bad spawns, is because there's only a limited number of spawns in Team Deathmatch or in Domination and stuff like that. There's a set number of spawns, and this was very noticeable during while I was playing on or while I was watching USS Texas and playing it, because I realized, like, I shouldn't be like spawning all the way down there. Right, because there's a thing called a revenge spawn, and revenge spawns are notorious for everything, right? Revenge spawns are, it's most popular, I believe, in Black Ops 3, right? Because, I got the flow with it, and so when I kill somebody in free-for-all or something like that, I'm always keeping in mind a revenge spawn. A revenge spawn is when the game spawns you. And I think it was prevalent in, previous Call of Duties, like Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, you know, maybe even Black Ops 1, but I can't think that far back and recall any moment. Basically, revenge spawns are when a person kills you, you're gonna spawn near that person again, so you have the chance to kill him again. Now, it's not necessarily a bad spawn because you're already aware of where the person is at because they just killed you. That's why it's not considered a bad spawn. And there's a lot of times, like in Black Ops 3 mainly, where if I'm killing somebody, I always know, oh, they're gonna be nearby me in like somewhere near me in a 360-degree radius, right? And so I just look around, and usually I can just pick them off. But I feel like in this game there is no such thing as that, right? That's what I believe. So I'm not gonna play this game again to test this shit out. But as you can see, there's a lot of times where people are dying from the middle. Right, and bots usually watch kill cams for some reason, so they're gonna spawn in late, and they spawn all the way back in their spawn. So I feel like for team deathmatch, maybe even domination, all those game modes, your spawns are set. There's only a set number of spawns, and you won't spawn anywhere near the middle of the map, because there's many instances, if you keep watching this gameplay, right, or quote unquote gameplay, there's a lot of instances where the people could spawn in the middle of the map. There's no necessary danger. And keep in mind, I have not spawned in yet, right? And I thought my potential spawn was gonna. I know that's not a potential spawn, but I felt like that was gonna be like an issue. Like maybe they're not spawning on me because that's where I'm supposed to be spawning at, quote unquote. And so later on I spawned in just to test this out, right? Anyways, the problem is that these spawns are like they're all pushed back, right? So if there's only a set number of spawns in this map, I'm talking about this map necessarily, right? Later on I'll talk about different maps. If there's only a set number of spawns, right? Sledgehammer was lazy with the spawn works in this game, or in this map particularly, because there's maps where there's a lot of good spawns, right? Point through Hawk, even though that was a rare occasion, I feel like that map has good spawns. So you don't get spawned all the way back or something like that. Like me right here, I got spawned all the way back. I spawned on my teammate, yeah, but I could have spawned closer to the action, right? I hated that. I think in Advanced Warfare had a similar problem, but the thing with that is that it has such a faster paced movement, and you don't have to run that much, right? And that's what I realized. Like, there's a lot of good spawns that could be happening, but look, the guy was killed right there, right? If you're looking at that, and they all spawn all the way to the back. Why? Because there's set spawns. There's only a certain number of spawns in the map, and then so there's only a little bit of spawn locations that's considered quote unquote safe, when really you can push this spawn, and as long as your team is still in their back spawn, they won't rotate. And that's how you can like spawn trap on this map, and that's why this map is such a bad map, because of the spawn rates and stuff like that, you know. And I saw this, and while I was playing it, I was feeling it too. Like, come on, why can't I spawn like in the middle, right? Something like that, because you can't. Maybe in free for all it's a different thing, right? It's a different story. But while I'm making this gameplay, right, and while I was playing, it didn't feel like it at all, you know. So as for what does this mean? It means Sledgehammer was lazy and did not care at all about the good spawn rates in this map, and while designing any map too. The things to make a good map is, like, first off, you gotta focus on the 3-lane system. The 3-lane system never failed anybody, right? So stop trying to innovate on these maps and have multiple lanes, right, or multiple flank routes, and completely screw over the 3-lane system. The 3-lane system, which is like there's 3 routes from any spawn, right, at any given rate, that's worked in Call of Duty since it's ever been introduced, right? It's been generally introduced like since like I'd say like Modern Warfare, yeah, the first one, right? And that's the thing. Like, why are you trying to like do these new things? Why are you trying to do this? Somewhat has a 3-lane system, but the lanes are so squished together, and it's such a small map with bad spawns and stuff like that you can't feel it, right? There's barely any good gunfights that you're gonna be having in this map, and that's why I don't like this map. And then there's many maps in the game that is just completely horrible, right? It's completely like too bad to play on. Like I can name Gustav Cannon. That map was made just for snipers, right? That should be bad, right? If you're controlling the middle of the map, you basically win the game, and that shouldn't be the case for anything, right? You shouldn't be able to like, it all depends on who can get to it first, basically, and you can win the game, or you can lose. And then there's some instances where you lose the game. But the thing is like that shouldn't be a feature, right? You shouldn't be able to automatically have the upper hand within the first minute of the match, and that's what's the main thing that I have with this game, is that it's easy to automatically have the upper hand. Basically, this map, as long as you rush their spawn first, then you'll automatically win the game. And that's my issue with this. Is like, how did you guys not realize that this is a corrupt system? How did you guys not realize that this is a bad system and this shouldn't be in the game? No, they didn't, because they were like, they half-assed this, you know? They half-assed this game, and they did not care at all. And that's my main issue with this, right? Come on, like, you can, obviously, you gotta fix your spawns, but they're not gonna fix it. Why? Because that requires a lot of work for them to do. Because they already published the game, and the game's already like, yeah, it's broken and stuff, but like the thing is that for them to fix this, it's gonna take months to work out, because they have to look at every map of all these bad spawns, and then they actually have to do work, add more spawns, and that's why I got mad, right? That's why I'm getting mad. This is more like a toned down rant so far, right? Because later on I'm gonna just get super pissed about what this game does to us. Alright, so let's look at the bad spawns. I already talked about 10 minutes about that. So let's go to the main to one thing that just pisses everybody off, which is the score streaks. The score streaks are so weak in this game, right? And that shouldn't be the case, right? It shouldn't be so weak in this game. Like paratroopers, I already ranted about this. I caught paratroopers 2 times in 2 different games, and I got no kills with it. And then they wanted to nerf it. Like, really? Are you gonna fuck me over like that? I don't think so, right? The ball turret gunner, it's a good score streak, right? But the thing is that some maps don't actually complement it, right? Some maps have like point, no, yeah, hold on. Like, some maps have a lot of houses that you can go into, like I believe London Docks has like an issue, or either that or the ball turret gunner, the path it takes is completely and it feels weak sometimes, you know, because either there's a lot of things covering your ability to shoot, right, or it's just like they're in cover all the time, constantly, right? And that's the problem with the ball turret gunner, and it's way too hard to get. Like, ball turret gunner, I think that was like a 15 kill streak, or 14. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think later on in the video I will check on like the score streaks and say how weak they are and shit like that. Anyways, right, the problem I had with this, right, the score streaks, is that they're too weak, but they cost too much, you know. I believe the best score streak in the game, it was like the carpet bombing run or something like that, and that's like it's like a bombing run, but it's 3 different paths, and it's based on where all the enemies are at. And yes, that can be good sometimes, and I really do mean sometimes it can be good. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you're gonna get a lot of shit. But also, there's like no in between score streaks, is what I realized, right? There's no in between score streak. Like, from UAV to paratroopers, which is okay, it's like a gamble rather, right? There's no in between score streaks that you can get that is guaranteed you to get 3 kills or something like that. Everything is just ass, you know. And that's what I just hated about that, right? Cause like, why are you gonna bust your ass on a score streak that is just completely horrible, right? I want to get into this now before I forget, right? I'll maybe touch back on the score streak, so I think I said everything I needed to. Look, I don't like this creator class system, right? This creator class system limits you so much. There's a lot of things in this game that just limits you, right? For example, why am I required to run mountain, right? Which I need to use a sniper for. Well, not necessarily need, but it only benefits sniper in order to get silent movements, invisible from radar and stuff like that. That's annoying. Why do I need to run expeditionary when if I want to use a shotgun and I need the shotgun shells, or if I need extra piece of tactical and lethal, right? Why would I need to do that? And I have screenshots of these basic trainings that completely piss me off, and I'll show you guys later in this video about which basic trainings are pissing me the most off. Like launch, for example. Why is it required for me to take a basic training in order to equip a launcher? Like, why am I only using this basic training and then giving away all other basic trainings in order to use a launcher? Like, that shouldn't be that shouldn't be a problem, right? I should just equip a launcher without requiring a basic training, right? Why do I need a hustle in order to reload faster? Why isn't fast mags a part of that, right? And that's what pisses me off the most, right? I'm gonna make more screenshots so I can commentate on basically the particular basic trainings that piss me the fuck off, right? So I will be back. Okay, so see, these are the basic trainings that pissed me off. Like Hunker, why is Shell Shock a thing in the game, and why do I need to run a basic training in order to have an early grenade warning, which should be flat out the same thing for all of us, right? because the grenade indicators, like I said in my previous video, is just horrible because they don't tell you fast enough. And why is that a perk or a basic training? Then they're forcing you guys to do that, right? They're forcing you guys to have this basic training in order to have a decent grenade warning indicator, which is pretty good. But why is it also takes less explosive damage? I already covered launched, right? My problem with launched, and why do I need a basic training and then submit all my other basic training so I can't use them in order to take a rocket launcher? That it doesn't make sense to me, right? That's just some bullshit reason as a basic training, and it's like limiting my creative class, right? Requisitions and ordnance is the thing that pissed me off, because when you run requisition, if you switch to a different class, all your score streaks are still in the game, and you still need to earn them, and you can only get them once. But if that's the case, then why doesn't ordnance do the same thing? So if you switch your class, all your score streaks are still cheaper. If you're gonna do one thing to one basic training, do the same thing to another, and I wouldn't have a problem. But no, why the fuck is that happening? Why the fuck is that an issue, right? If I want to switch my basic train, my class, don't force me to have the same thing as my other basic training. Although that can be like implemented in a very strange way, like that can be exploited. Look at why is my minimap purposely smaller so that there's a basic training for it. Like, are you guys stupid? Do you guys not see the problem with this? An enemy appears far away. The rate at which the farther away occurs, like if a teammate or enemy is looking 10 feet away from me, you won't see their tag, which is completely bullshit, right? Primed. Why are you guys taking toughness, right, and putting it as a basic training, right? Which toughness should be the same thing for everybody, right? You shouldn't be flinching that much and make this into a basic training. And even after it's been nerfed, the additional primary attachment is still a good thing, but I don't think it should be basic training. Duelist. This is the shit that got me pissed off. Why do I need a basic training in order to get a fucking akimbo pistols? Like, do you understand how stupid that is? That should just be an attachment on the pistol itself instead of a fucking basic training. That was a shit excuse as a basic training. Again, you're limiting my abilities to play, and there's no variety no more. I can't fucking do everything, right? Because it's like win or lose. Like, you use one or you use other. Bang. Why do I need a basic training in order to have two tacticals grenade, right? Two tacticals. Like, that shouldn't be an issue about this, right? That shouldn't be an actual basic training. That should be like, you can take two, but you should use a basic training for two grenades. So, scope. Why did you guys take away stock as an attachment and put it as a basic training? Like, I don't care about that, right? I just want stock, because I want to use stock on all my weapons, but I need to run either the division or the fucking or what's it called? I need to either run the division or this basic training, and it's complete bullshit, right? Like, why is that an issue? You know, why are you guys limiting things I do, like things that are focused on like any other Call of Duty game? These are basic things, basic skills that you guys that the soldier has, and that you don't need a perk for. Like a bigger minimap, that shouldn't be an issue, right? If you compare the minimap for World War II to any other Call of Duties, you'll be surprised just how much bigger those minimaps of the other Call of Duties are. Because this shit is so small, like it could barely cover over a room, right? Although in Black Ops 3 you can cover yourself, your room, and then two other rooms, you know. Or in Infinite Warfare, same deal, right? Like, why are you guys limiting our minimap in order to use it as a perk? Like, and also, why are you guys using the akimbo, like the akimbo shit? That's the one that really pissed me off. Why do I need a basic training and only that basic training? Like, if you can take two basic trainings, I wouldn't be so mad. I wouldn't be such a bitch about this, right? Because I wouldn't be completely messed over. Like, if you can take two, then yeah, that'll balance it out, like, even more. Like, it's more variety that way, right? Like, but why do I need a basic training, right? And in order to get akimbo pistols, that should just be an attachment, like flat out an attachment. That shouldn't be a fucking problem. But no, it has to be a basic training, right? So there's no stock as an attachment. There's no fast mag as an attachment. These are basic attachments in the game, right? I'm pretty sure back then in World War II there was some things called fast mags, right? It must have been, right? Because it's not like everybody's reloading slow as fuck, right? So why are you guys like doing this to us, right? Yes, I know you guys want to innovate, alright, and this is my issue. The fucking score streak. The bolter gun is actually 1700 score streaks. Holy shit, that's crazy. And you barely get 10 kills with it. Like, if I call in the Wraith, which is an 11 kill streak, sometimes I might actually get 11 kills, right? But most of the times I get like what, 8 or something like that. It's still pretty good. Raps, I can get over 10 kills with it because it's crazy. But mainly why I don't run raps is because a lot of people just leave the game. Okay. Next thing is the sweaties and the campers. I covered this on my first rant about this game, but I just want to touch upon it a little bit because you can't get a balance of the two, right? If you're camping, you're somewhat sweaty because you know that you have better benefits for camping. You know that if you camp and you catch people off guard, right, you can actually win the gunfight better, right? You have better chances of winning, and that's what I hated, right? I already talked about the menu design on my previous video. The menu, it just looks horrible. Like, why are you guys doing this? Like, Advanced Warfare had a simple, easy to remember menu, but this is just horrible. And then the bad maps. Bad maps. All maps in this game I consider bad. And the only map that's an exception to this, and a map that I prefer, is Point to Hawk. I don't have a problem with that map, and only because like that map, I get the flow with it. It was in the beta, and I was playing the shit out of it in the beta. Right, in the beta, I saved all my opinions on the game until after the game came out, because I knew a lot of things were gonna change, but a lot of things changed for the worse, right? And why is it that when you jump, right, if you're like aiming down sights or something like that, when you jump, your movement speed is so fucking slow? Like, why is that, right? You guys can test it out yourself too. It's horrible. I hated it. So where am I going with this? Why did I make this whole entire video to express myself? And why am I hating this game so much? It's because these are simple things that could have been prevented, right? Why is it that there's a lot of issues with this game, but you had 3 years to develop it? Like, you guys were introduced in order to have 3 years to develop a game. That's the main reason Sledgehammer was brought onto a project, so that every developer has 3 years to make their game, right? Advanced Warfare was a pretty good game. It was a solid game, and I for one say it was a complete game at launch, right? It had a lot of content because it had Exo Survival, it had amazing ass campaign, right? And it had really enjoyable and really replayable multiplayer experience, right? And that's the thing that was kind of weird, right? Like, why is that such a better game and more complete game than this, right? It had less bugs than this game, bro, and you had 3 years to do this. So, like, bad maps, you guys, that should be like map 101. Like, have good spawns. That's what makes a good map. Main thing that makes a good map is a good spawns, right? The only exception to that might be like Shipment or like Nuketown. Maps are just chaotic enough to like forget all the bad spawns in it. Also, score streaks. Why every Call of Duty the score streaks are getting worse and worse? Like Chopper Gunner in Black Ops 1, that was the best score streak ever, and it was a 9 kill streak, right? Why is it that you gotta do the why is it that these score streaks are so much harder to get? Why do you need to get close to a nuclear in this game in order to get a bolter gunner to have the chance to get 10 kills, right? You're not guaranteed 10 kills, right? But in Black Ops 1, you just gotta get on a 9 kill streak, or maybe even less if you're running hardline, and you boom, you got it, right? Why is that? And why is it that like skill-based matchmaking is still in the game? And it's like all these like issues is the things that are pissing me off. But besides from that, right? I'm not gonna complain about this even more, because I'm completely done with this game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and this rant. I will be posting the Nazi Zombies rant later on during the week, and that's gonna be a completely different style of video. I'm completely pissed off with that game mode. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a nice day. Spread the love to everybody. Like, share, and subscribe. And have a nice day. Have a wonderful year. Goodbye.